Alright, man, I didn't realize it. I thought that was going to be a 10-minute video and we're 15 minutes into it. Anyway, number 27. Anyway, I guess you can call it a Harbor Freight punch, but this, if you can get to the edge of it, this is a way to cut a hole in a piece of aluminum or sheet metal. It pops through, and that is absolutely perfect.
You're moving it too quickly.
Oh. Okay, let me go slower. Anyway, that's a $20 tool. It's kind of a handy thing. Got a new radiator fill bracket here. Now onto the pieces that I've redesigned and thrown away. We have this radiator bracket back here. It's set on here like this. Really did not like the way that thing was just that was the only glue joint right there. So redesigned that just a little bit. Got a bracket that looks like this now. Let's see if I can do that. It's got two instead of one. It's going to come up here, grab it from both sides, and set kind of like that. So cut that out while I was CNCing stuff out. Don't have it glued together yet. We talked about the stinger, throwing the stinger in the trash last time. Come up here, let me show you. We got the new stinger. It's just held up there with bungee cords right now. But I dug the old stinger out of the trash here so you could see the difference. It's a lot thicker here. See, this piece right here goes all the way back, ties these two pieces together now. Just a lot nicer setup. The purpose of this is to support this as well as the mufflers. That transaxle unsupported forces try to make it do that. Now you've got that boxed better and you got more support for that. Something that's happened pretty major on the stinger, you can see we talked about how the mufflers used to set on these, and we were going to come up and put some rib nuts in the bottom and make all that work. Now then, this is cradled in this, and what that does is give it a much better place to sit. Now we can rib nut in right there to hold it. We're hose clamped on this end, but that cradle absolutely aligns these things like this. And I had a rough time on the first two cars. You eyeball this thing and you try to get them like this, and you think you've got it right, and then you put the body on and it's not right. This indexes it. It's got to be level. So much nicer design on that. Much more area here to cover up the offset on this, so that when you look at the car, the transaxle doesn't look cocked like that. I'll show you one other thing right here. These are our typical swaged radius rods, again from my buddy Bob at Rod End Supply, which he was supposed to be here a month ago. I wonder where he's at. Anyway, these, you see this hole right here? Can you look under here a little bit? See that? There's going to be one of these coming off of this like this. This goes over the fender well. The bottom of the fender well, bottom of the body is like so behind the rear tire, and it's just a big piece flopping in the breeze. So we're going to put these right here over here to that fender well to support it. This is pretty common on a race car, a very similar thing, because that fender well, it's like a great big parachute back here. So the location of this here has caused that to be redesigned a little bit, and I'm very happy with all that now. And here's another piece I can throw in the trash.
Recycle. Recycle.
Yeah, no, I can't recycle it because it's painted. They won't take it. So that's 50 cents I got screwed out of. Okay, I want to show you something here. Glove box. Show you what I've been building and throwing away here. Got a little bitty detail right here. tried to make this work with stock old air stuff, and it won't do it. I've got to have that little plate right there to do that, to get my hinge down low enough to make it work. When I was making this plate, I first made this plate. This information right here, Title 49, Title 51, whatever it is, Federal Transportation Code, it's 50 give or take, I don't remember. But anyway, when I got all of my certification, my authorization to issue serial numbers, my 4S9 designation, it means I'm an automobile manufacturer. In that letter, it said, pay close attention to, out of the volumes and volumes in title whatever that you've got to conform to, pay close attention to conforming to this. So that little sticker inside, it has tire inflation. It's there because federal DOT says it's got to be there. Now, I don't know what the big deal about all that was, why they picked that one particular thing to include in the letter instead of all the other volumes, but if 20-something years in NASCAR has taught me anything, it is not to not give them a reason. If they say you ought to do that, don't argue with them. Don't call attention to yourself. Just do it. So I tried to incorporate, again, trying to make everything do two functions. Tried to incorporate that into that, but it's just too awkward an angle. You just can't see it. So there's my second effort at that. That plate's going to go in there like that. I thought I don't understand. You know, there's in that transportation code, there is everything you can imagine. Your typical, you know, your DOT brake lines, your DOT safety glass, and so forth. But there's stuff in there like here's the minimum bending radius of a vacuum line, and here's the expensive, how to fabricate the expensive apparatus to test that minimum bending radius of a vacuum line. But of all things, this is what they wanted to call my attention to, so we'll pay particular attention to that. But in the meantime, that looks real pretty, but it's going in the trash. I'm going to show you here my hinge. We talked about this origami hinge before. There's a tab coming down back here. It looks kind of like this tab right here that's the front hinge. And then there's a riv nut sticking out of that, and there's two of those tabs, and that goes like so. Very simple, very easy, very effective hinge mechanism. Let me show you here, if I can see it myself. That one right there. Snaps over there. That one over there. Snaps on that side. There's my hinge mechanism. It's done. Simple, easy, doesn't weigh anything, doesn't cost anything, all way good. Show you something else too. Needed a simple, effective way to hold the glove box open. Here was my first effort, going in the trash. Here is my second effort, going in the trash. Here is my third effort, already on here. And I want to show you how this works. If I can, bear with me just a second. How are we doing on time?
8 minutes.
Oh, good deal. Okay, because it may take me a second to do this. Bear with me. What I'm doing is I just want to put this glove box lid on here temporarily with my Klecos. We talked about the Klecos, how it one more time, see the gets thin and big and grabs it and holds it. Let me just temporarily Kleco this thing out. Whoops. Kleco it in the right hole. There we go. Okay, got that temporarily done there. Now, let me show you here. See that rivet right there? That rib nut? See what's going to happen here? Comes down like so. see what we got here. See that? So, you see the lettering. So what happens here is, glove box is shut like that. And up like so. Push to hold it open. There's your open glove box. Pull to close it. And there's your closed box. But here again, this all of the hinge assembly, all the bracket to hold it open, everything else cost under $1, weight under an ounce. Simple, easy. Don't have to buy any parts. Don't have to buy any hinges, brackets. Don't have to inventory anything. All cut on spare parts from the CNC machine. There's my first and second try going in the trash. But this deal right here, I'd struggled with how I wanted that built, and I finally have it. Let me see here. I think that covers everything. Oh, let me show you one other thing. One last thing here. These floor mats, Larry Dennis Company, that I talked about before, right here in Fort Worth, they are a big wholesale upholstery place. Big warehouse, ship bolts of automotive material all over the world. They've got these in every color you can imagine. They're about a 98-cent part. I've cut this to work down here, but splurge and put one on either side. You're still at only $2. Look at this. I'll show you how. When that fits in there, something like that. Let me get some light in there and see just what a very, very nice dollar detail that makes. See that? That looks like a professional deal. And those are just, I don't remember the exact price, but I know they're under $2 from Larry Dennis. But it just makes a fantastic looking detail. Now, let me just make sure I've got everything. How we doing on time?
12 and a half.
12 and a half? I didn't think we were. Yeah, I think that's it. Unless you want to watch me throw this stuff in the trash.